I am Eryj Ben Sassi, and you're listening to Gospel Tangents,
the best source for Mormon history, science, and theology, and first daily Mormon history podcast. I'm Rick Bennett. We've got an international guest here on Gospel Tangents, Eryj Ben Sassi. She's the leader of a group that believes that ancient Phoenicians came to America from Tunisia. We're going to find out why she thinks that in our next conversation. You won't want to miss it. Check it out. Welcome to Gospel Tangents. I'm excited to have an international visitor here. Could you go ahead and tell us who you are and where are we?
Thank you, Rick, for having me today with your channel. So I am Eryj Ben Sassi. I'm coming from Carthage, from Tunisia, in North Africa.
Well, that's very exciting. So what brought you here? We're in the Washington, D.C. area.
Yes, amazing.
What brought you here?
Yes, so I'm very excited to be here in Washington, D.C. As I am the president and founder of the association Didon of Carthage. So I represent my association and my country, culture part of my country. So, and we have a partnership with an American association called the Heartland Research. And together we will try to bring the old world to the new world.
We're excited about this. So last night we met at the ambassador's home.
Yes.
And had a fantastic meeting and get together. So you and the Heartland Research Group, you've been following Philip Beale.
Exactly.
And for those who may not remember, who's Philip Beale and why do both you and the Heartland Research Group like him so much?
Okay. So Philip Beale, he's a genius man, exceptional man. Yes. So he built a replica ship, Phoenician replica ship in Syria years ago. And he started his journey in 2008. His first journey started from 2008 to 2010, so 2 years to make the circumnavigation around Africa. And at that time, I didn't know him.
I didn't
personally. I don't know him, okay? But he started a second expedition, a second adventure in 2019. So he came from England to Carthage. And this expedition called Phoenicians before Columbus. And the objective of this expedition is to prove that Phoenicians and Carthaginians were the first to discover the American continent, 600 BC. Or maybe more. I suppose that is before 600 BC.
Yeah. So you think that ancient Phoenicians could have traveled all the way from, say, Israel to Carthage and then on to America?
Yes, I believe. So we have in our history two famous admirals.
Okay.
Carthaginian admiral. They are the most famous navigator of that time, of ancient time. So Admiral Hamilton went from Carthage to Cornwall in England. Okay. And Admiral Hannon went from Carthage to Cameroon.
Oh, wow.
With a fleet of 60 ships.
Okay.
So if these two admirals were very experts of navigation and can navigate to Cornwall or to Cameroon, so they can easily go to America. And especially as Captain Philip said, because he is an expert, I'm not expert of navigation. So he said that navigating through the Atlantic Ocean is very easy when we compare it to the Mediterranean.
Okay. Oh, it's easy.
It's like a vacation.
Oh, really?
For them. It's very easy because the Mediterranean is very difficult, as he said. So, and we have also the Gulf Stream in Atlantic, in the Atlantic Ocean. So, I think that ancient people could easily reach America at that time, and they were, they are, how I said, curious to know new places to make their trading.
Now, do you think this was just like a one-time voyage, or were they going back and forth?
I think that a lot, not one time. If they discovered it, I think they made it a lot of travels. Yes, between this area and America.
Okay. So basically, as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, so he traveled from Israel, Syria, through the Mediterranean.
Lebanon, from the Levant, we have Lebanon, north of Syria, Israel, so the south of the Mediterranean to Carthage, okay? And from
Tunisia.
In Tunisia, North Africa. And from Carthage, they can go through Gibraltar, okay? And after they went to Essaouira in Mogador, it's like the last step before going crossing the Atlantic.
Right.
And after Cap Vert, they can go until Cap Vert in Africa. Okay, and after.
And so he kind of followed the same route that Christopher Columbus did, but it was supposedly 2,000 years before Columbus, right?
Yes, more than 2,000 years.
Yeah.
More than 2,000 years.
In my church, we talk about a person called Mulek.
Yes.
And John has told me that has a special meaning for you. And we probably should mention a little bit more about Tunisia. So last night at the ambassador's reception, I learned that Tunisia is 98% Muslim and 2% Jewish, Christian, and everybody else. Now, you're in that 2%.
So I would explain you about Tunisia. Tunisia is a very rich country, okay? People from more than 3 millennia, okay? We received a lot of people from everywhere. This part of land in North Africa received a lot of people, okay? So in Tunisia, we have a mixture of people from the Levant, from Europe, from Africa, from Arabs. So the history of Tunisia is very rich. It started 7,000 years ago with the Capsian civilization. We said in French, la civilisation capsienne. And we have a region in Tunisia called Gafsa. And in Gafsa, we can find like a grotte, in the mountain, grotte. How you say this? I don't know the word in English.
Not sure.
Like a room in the mountain.
Okay.
Natural room.
Like a cave, maybe?
A cave. That's
Okay.
it. A cave. So a cave with an inscription, very old inscription, and not painting, like inscription anyway. And they show the civilization 7,000 years ago, officially announced by UNESCO. But some historians said that it could be 40,000 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Okay, but officially we said 7,000 years ago.
But it could be as back as 40,000.
Exactly. The first civilization in the world, in the history of the world.
Okay.
So after some millennia, okay, so we have at that time, let's say around 3,000 years ago, 3,000 and some centuries, okay, we have people called Getuls, Numidian, and Libyc. That's why now we have Libya.
Okay.
Okay, and people from the Canaanites, and also King Solomon, he came to Tunisia to make some trading. So you can imagine the date of the period of Solomon kingdom. So he sent a lot of ships to Tarshish to make trading. Where is Tarshish?
I don't know. That's it's definitely. I'm trying to think of. Is that the story of Jonah and the whale? Right.
Tarshish. So we have 3 exegetes of the Bible who confirmed that Tarshish is Tunisia.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So Jonah was trying to get to Tunisia when he was trying to escape Israel, basically, right?
Who?
Jonah, the prophet Jonah in the Bible.
Yes, may I don't know this part of.
Okay.
I don't know. I cannot tell you more. From the time of Solomon, we have Jews in Hebrew. Let's say Hebrew in Tunisia. They came. They were installed. They stay in Tunisia to make a culture of purple and blue.
And that's why I'm wearing my purple today.
And so after the destruction of the temple, a lot of Cohen and Levi and Hebrew came to stay in this part of land because it's very peaceful. And these people were mixed with the indigenous people of what we call now Tunisia and North Africa. Mm-hmm. So this is the first part of the first religion in Tunisia. So from that time we have the Jewish religion, Judaism in Tunisia. Okay. After we have Didon, Queen Didon. But before Queen Didon, we have the Phoenician in north of Tunisia who came to found Utica. In Arabic, Utica is the oldest city. Okay. So it was founded 1100 years ago.
Okay.
1100 BC, sorry. Right. 1100 BC. 3 centuries after, we received Queen Didon, who came with sailors, with lawyers, her lawyers, people, lawyer, yes, and her servant, and she stayed in Carthage, and Carthage was called. We don't know the name of Carthage, the real name of Carthage. We have a lot of stories, but Carthage is Carthage, that means the new city.
Oh, okay.
So we have this mixture of 2 populations, the Canaanites and the people from the indigenous, Tunisian indigenous, or let's say North African indigenous.
Okay.
Okay. So we have the part of the population who was converted to Judaism naturally because they believed in one God. You know, it's the first religion. So after this, centuries after, we have the Christianity. And Tunisia gave 4 popes to Rome.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Wow.
And the famous one is, his name is Gelas. You know, Gelas, he codified the Bible.
Okay.
So the history of Tunisia is very rich. The Christian history of Tunisia was very powerful.
Okay.
So from that time, we have 2 people now. Mm-hmm. We have Jewish and Christian.
Mm-hmm. Well, and John was telling me the oldest synagogue in the world is in Tunisia.
Exactly.
I had no idea.
Exactly.
How far back does that go?
So it's the oldest synagogue, let's say, in North Africa, because the oldest one is in Israel.
Israel, okay.
In Jerusalem.
So the oldest one outside Israel is in Tunisia.
Yes. So why? Because after the destruction of the temple, the Kohanim, the Cohen and Levi, they came to Tunisia. They escaped Nabucodonosor to a peaceful land. they know before, they heard about it before, because there's a Hebrew who stayed there, okay? And they bring with them a part of the doors of the Solomon's temple.
Okay. And so you can still see those at the synagogue?
No. It's very secret, it's very powerful. It's sacred.
Okay.
So no one can see it, even maybe the big rabbis and the people who are still Kohanim. Going.
Yeah.
But every year there's a big celebration in this synagogue, and we have thousands of Tunisian Jews around the world who came to visit the synagogue. And it's the most beautiful celebration in Djerba. And we wait for this celebration because for us it's the beginning of the tourism period for all Tunisia.
Okay. And so Djerba is an island right off of Tunisia. Yes. It's the largest island.
We have two islands in Tunisia. We have Kerkna, two big islands, let's say, two big islands. We have Djerba and Kerkena. Kerkena is in the middle of Tunisia, the beginning of the south. Okay. And Djerba is more in the south. Okay, so I can tell you which is the biggest. I don't have this information now. Okay, but
Djerba is where this synagogue is.
Exact. Djerba is known that is the an island where living there is awesome because you have a mixture of culture. You can find Jews, Christian, Muslim, living in peace, loving each other. They don't care about the religion of the others. So they are caring themselves, sharing with them all the population there. And we are very proud of what we have in Tunisia.
Yeah, it's awesome. So what I understand is...
So just to answer your question about our different religions, so centuries ago when we have Islam, so Arabs came to Tunisia, even all in like all Arab countries now, and they converted population to Islam. So that's why now we have a lot of Muslim population and Jews and some Christian, because all of them, most of them was converted, but basically they have another religion before.
Okay.
We don't know if you were Christian or if you were Jews or if you were you don't have a religion before. So every family should make their research to know what they are before. Some people don't want. It's a very personal and very private thing for them.
Okay. Very good. So it sounds like, because in America, we've probably heard of Tunisia. We don't know much about it. But from what I understand, there's a lot of tourism from Europe. And are you trying with your organization to open up more tourism to, say, Americans and have more Americans come there?
Yes. Basically, the main objective of our organization is to highlight our history and our culture. Because we passed by a very bad period with the colonizations, and some of our history is hidden. And the new population, young people, don't know very good. They don't know about our background, our history, and what we are really. So after the revolution in Tunisia in 2011, we as young people, we know to know more about what we have in Tunisia. We are like thirsty of culture and history. That's how I was personally, when I was young, I was always passionate about history, archaeology. As I live in Carthage, I was born in Carthage, and my family lived in Carthage minimum 80th century ago. From
80 centuries?
8th century minimum.
Wow.
Minimum. So I'm passionate as members of our group. So me and my best friend, we created this association to highlight our rich part of Tunisia. And when people know about your history, for sure they want to come and to visit.
Yeah. So you might be getting some more visitors out of this interview.
Yes, you're welcome. I hope to see you there. You have a lot of things. Really, Tunisia is very rich. We have a lot of period. So you can stay your whole life in Tunisia, and even it's a very small country. But if you are passionate by the culture, every time you will find something new to know about.
Well, yeah, and I mean, it seems like I also heard, because there was the big war between Carthage and the Romans, and the Rome sacked Carthage. That's probably, for anybody who knows anything about the history, that's all we know.
Yeah, exactly. This is why we want to highlight our history, because Rome take all our history. Ancient Rome, for sure. I'm not talking about actual Rome. So, and we should know that a lot of Carthaginians at that time moved to Rome, and a lot of what we called Roman were Carthaginian.
Right.
So actually, we are a mixed people. You can say, when you come to Tunisia, for example, we have a city in Carthage, in Tunisia, called Caban. Okay. When you go there, you see all the faces look like Italian faces.
Okay.
They are different from the other population. We are really mixed together. Even our manière, you know, how we talk. Our food is the same.
Awesome food last night, by the way.
Yeah, we also like Italian food, but also Tunisian food is very good. I like food culture for every.
Yeah. Well, you got if I remember right, the third largest Colosseum in the world is in Tunisia.
It's the second.
Second.
Yeah,
okay.
It's the second. I believe that it was the first.
Before the Colosseum in Italy?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes, I believe in this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you can see Roman ruins there as well.
But historians, they will laugh about me.
Okay.
Because, you know, there's some proof, but I think there's a lot of information which were disinformated, you know. Disinformation about that.
I hope you enjoyed our conversation with Eryj Ben Sassi. She's the president and founder of Association Didon de Carthage in Tunisia. In our next conversation, we're going to talk about the Hebrew connections between Tunisia and ancient Jerusalem.
So when the temple was destroyed by Nabucodonosor, as I told you, this is true, that a lot of Levi and Cohen came to stay in Tunisia, in Jerba. Okay. So it was the same date of that Mulek left Jerusalem. Mulek, he is the son of the king.
Okay.
Zedekiah.
Thanks for listening, and I hope you to continue to enjoy Gospel Tangents. Consider becoming a Patreon or go to gospeltangents.com/shop, and you can get a cool tie, a hat, or even a nice mug. You can also get a sweatshirt. So check it out at gospeltangents.com/shop.